Alright, how are you guys doing? So today I decided to go ahead and do a video on market cap reviews. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be explaining the different market caps that exist within crypto, giving you guys the pros, the cons, and examples of kind of cryptos that you can expect and see that fit within the market caps that I'm going to explain below. Now, before I continue forward, let me say that I am not a financial advisor, nor am I qualified to give financial advice. This is simply speculation, and from my own research and my own due diligence, I do strongly recommend and really want you guys to do your own research and do your own due diligence and be able to hopefully use this video as a guidance and kind of a tool to use when deciding not just your crypto, but just investment strategy in general, as this does carry on through with the stock market as well. So without further ado, let's get started to it. The first one up is called the mega market cap. Basically, that is any crypto that has over 200 billion market cap. So we're looking at something like Bitcoin and ETH. They're considered the giants of the crypto world, and currently there's only two of them. And like I said before, that being Bitcoin and ETH. Bitcoin, I do believe, is at $1 trillion, and Ethereum is at 400, if I'm not wrong, 300. The one that's closest to the mega market cap is currently BNB, with about around 100 billion market cap, but they still got 100 billion to go. I could expect them to go maybe there in the next 5 to 10 years, but you never know. So one of the pros about them is that they're a safe investment, meaning there's no worry of rug pulls. And also within like the 5-10 years, they have a nice return rate. Cons is that you need a large investment to be able to make a significant change, and it's seen as kind of too late to jump into these kind of into these two cryptos. But I will say that both of these guys, many tokens will use their blockchains and be able to make their own cryptos off of those. So such as like ERC20 tokens, BSC tokens, those kind of guys. If you're going to be going with that route of where you're going to go to DeFi, these guys will play a huge part, especially ETH, since ETH is the most popular out of the two to be able to make your crypto out of. And that is due to more security and safer kind of roaming around, I guess, if you want to say it. Next up, we have the large market caps. So this goes from 10 billion to 200 billion. Examples we have is Shiba, ADA, Solana, and Polkadot, or DOT, as you guys may know. They're smaller than the giants, though they're widely known and don't really need that much of as big of an investment as the Mega, but still need more time and bigger investment, and it could take years to see significant change. Pro is that they're typically used using fiat, so you don't have to worry about that miner fee or that gas fee when you have to pay between crypto to crypto. They're safer to invest and leave, no worry about rug pulls, and could also be good entry points for people who are new to crypto. Me personally, when I joined into crypto, the very first investments I really had was ADA, Algo, Doge, and of course Shiba. Those were the four that I invested in right off the bat because, again, they're very easily accessed to me. I had those centralized apps that I could just jump right into them. Con is that you may still have to wait some time to see a real big difference in investment. And so for this reference point, we're going to be using about a year. I would say for these ones, mega market cap, it's okay. It's an okay thing, especially if you have a bigger portfolio, bigger capital you can throw into Bitcoin or Ethereum, and you may see some nice change in there. These guys, they're better. They're not the best, but they're better. Next up is the mid-market caps, which are 2 billion to 10 billion. Example of those guys will be XLM, Saitama, Crypto.com, and Atom. They are smaller cryptos to invest in, don't need a huge investment, and be able to grow and make a significant amount. The pros is they tend to be there for some time, typically over a year old. And usually when the crypto passes about the year or so old, more likely it's a safe crypto to invest in. Your investment's not going to get rug pulled or anything like that. Cons, though, is they can still have extreme lows and extreme highs. What I mean by that is, like, for example, Saitama, when I think just recently, actually, it went from dropping that zero from, like, I think 7 to 6 zeros, and immediately dropped back down to, I think, about 706, 705. Something like that I'm talking about, where they have a huge lead up and then a huge drop off. It's normal within the crypto world. It's very common, very normal. But you can sometimes see, especially on Saitama or those crypto to crypto kind of guys, you can see that kind of thing happening there. Nothing really to worry about, and it should not deter you from your investment, because again, if you're holding it for long term, say a year, you don't have to worry about what's going on right now with those sells and buys. What you should be more concerned about is knowing what the team or what the crypto or token itself is going to be bringing into the world, what utility it has, and how useful it's going to be, and its resources. And that again is due part in research, doing the research on your side and making sure what these kind of guys are doing, and also being able to understand them, and if you even need be, joining one of their socials, whether that be like Telegram, Twitter, anything like that, reaching out to their community and trying to figure out what they're planning on doing, what kind of impact they plan on having, and that kind of thing. Next up, we got the small market caps. These goes from 300 million to 2 billion. So example of these guys will be Ravencoin, Anarch, and Feg, and 1inch. They have a better, quicker turnaround for money. Don't really need a huge investment. It may be the better option for people who are new to crypto. What I mean by that is that, especially with Feg, they have that crypto to crypto option, and Feg is pretty small still. So you can throw in about $100, $200 and be able to have it sit there for maybe, say, about a year. Now let's say Feg goes really well. It drops 2 zeros, because we're trying to be realistic here. We don't want to give it high expectations or unreal realities. So let's say that it has 2 zeros. So it drops 2 zeros there. You can make a pretty decent amount of money from that Feg investment, especially if you had a bigger chunk in there, like $2,000 or something like that. Again, like I had said, not a lot of money to put in, with a great ROI, within the year. Cons, though, is that you can be prone to, especially around this stage when they get to the small market caps, rug pulls, honeypots, etc., those kind of things happening, especially rug pulls. Once a crypto gets to that point, there are times where the devs will just leave. There could be also times and other reasons about it. The reason is that the dev team just hit a brick wall. They don't know where to go, and they feel the best thing to do is just ditch the coin and try to start either completely new or just take the profits and call it a day. Another thing is that they can typically are newer coins, and because of that, they may not be on centralized exchanges such as Coinbase, Voyager, Kraken, etc. They're a lot harder to access. You have to use DeFi apps such as the 1inch network, Shiba Swap, Uniswap, PancakeSwap, just to name off a few. Now next up, we have the micro caps. The micro caps are extremely small. They're typically where really new coins are starting off at. They range from the 50 million to 300 million range. They're the smallest market cap, and like I said, new projects tend to start around this time, but actually not a little bit older. But they are also one of the best tokens to use for a really good ROI, especially in that year that you're looking around. Examples may be Archa, again, Archangel, Mononoke or Mononoke, Bounce, or Dext, which is also Dex Tools native token. So pros tend to be the smallest and cheapest cryptos, and had just started to not too long ago. Typically, if you see a crypto within that micro cap, they probably started a month and a half, maybe even 2 months ago. So not around for a huge amount of time, but perfect to be able to get in there. Especially if you can get them at launch, you're set. So the nice thing, you can take a small amount of money and it can go really big, really fast. The thing with these ones as well is they have a term within the crypto world called burn, where you burn your zeros, where you get rid of your zeros. Sometimes a lot of projects will start out with 10, 11, even 12 zeros. And if they drop, say, 2 zeros, and you put in $1,000, right there, I'm trying to give a good estimate. I don't want to lead people off. I'll just say you have a really nice chunk of money just sitting there for, Well, typically if they drop to zeros, it could happen within about a month. But that's around the time that they're going to start trying to move out of that micro cap into the small market cap, and start trying to grow even more and try to snowball into the different ones. But the issue with these ones is their cons is that many, but not all projects in this area, maybe honeypots, rug pulls, etc. They're more dangerous and more volatile. They can experience extremely high, very extreme highs and very extreme lows. And they don't meet the requirements for centralized apps or exchanges, so they can't make that bridge between crypto to fiat. Solely stuck to crypto, and people that want to get into them have to pay a fee to miners, which basically just verify your transaction. Typically with this kind of things, if you're doing a centralized app, their already system is processing it, and you only have to pay their fee, which is in the dollars, where sometimes miner fees, especially recently, can get up to $400, $500. So it definitely does not help the micro cap cryptos just yet. It does suck, but they tend to hang on, and they are still pretty good, especially something like Archangel. I've seen them doing just well, just perfectly fine, even with those high gas fees. So another thing I wanted to say as well is, with these ones, you can them being extremely volatile, what I mean is that you can see a huge spike and then a huge drop off in the price. That's normal, and that's okay, because the thing with those is that people can jump in at launch, they see that huge profit of money, and they pull out. So they go sell all their money, sell all their crypto, and that could hurt the price. Likewise as well, maybe sometimes people hold a certain amount and they sell off, and there goes the price. Other thing as well is the rug pulls, where again, the devs made the token just as a scam token, promoted it hard enough and long enough, people joined in, they were able to take out 100,000 or whatever. They're perfectly fine with that, they leave it be, and now you're stuck with a token that literally is worth nothing. That's just the risk you may have to take. Again, is it worth it? I most definitely think so. You have to do your research and due diligence. If you find that right crypto, and you know you can trust the team, and you can trust the community, and you can trust what they're going to have going on, then I say go in there as soon as you can. Obviously, do your research and do all the necessary steps you need to do before jumping in there with large amounts. And even then, if you don't feel safe enough, just put in $100. $100 can go really far, especially in the micro cap world. You'd be insane. You'd be mind blown to see how much $100 can grow into really fast. So, again, this was not financial advice, nor my financial advisor. This is just me wanting to do a video for you guys to be able to help you guys kind of give a guide about your investment strategy, give you guys a guide on investments, and also try to help formulate your investment strategy. That way you guys can see where you want to fit. If you're not really wanting to go really huge risk or anything like that, then I would definitely say the large market caps, or the large to mega market caps would probably be your best investment idea, because then they're pretty stable and they're pretty safe with their price that they're at. But again, that's just what I think. Again, at the end of the day, it's whatever you guys believe. So that's the end of the video. I hope you guys have a good day.